Streams.
Go. Yeah. Direct it, make it, make it, make it. Go, go. Yeah.
What's up, yo? I'm your host, DJ S, tuned in today on The Connected Show. Now, this is something we do every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are on now episode 22. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, this is Connected, and welcome to Connected. Now, it's pretty much self-explanatory. This is a show where I like to say we kind of, you know, it's not your mentor, it's not just the information, it's just the personal experiences with a follow-up. What comes through our mind dots, which pretty much is job opportunities. Now, I believe at this point, up to 110 job opportunities that I've been able to provide since day one. And I got to shout out my team, Connected Team, Mike, for holding it down and allowing me here at this for you guys. So yes, every Monday here, do not sleep, join us, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So check out, you know, cool things coming up. As I mentioned in last, we got some surprises coming up for you guys. We got some special appearances, special guests, the fly host next to me. Just new energy for you know, where we're getting ready to go for you guys, and to keep it exciting, keep it motivating for all who, you know, take the time to join us. I'm going to be heading out to Japan for a couple days, actually working on finishing up a drum I have coming out in, I want to say at the end of August. It's called The Art for all DJ performers, beat makers. I think something you're going to love because it allows you to create, and it also allows you to perform. You know, and some will say, you know, well, what does it actually take to, you know, into something like this, where you're developing a product, where you're bringing ideas and concepts to life? This all came through just me kind of knowing my history of drum machines. You know, as I create and produce and write music, I've always worked with my drum machine, which I've always been able to kind of just create, gig, sample, and build records. And those opportunities kind of have afforded me an opportunity to work with various companies, Zoom North America being one. So those are some of the dynamics that happen within a career that just opens other doors up for you. All right, so I'm excited about that. I'm passionate about that. This week I just had a session in the studio where I actually posted some of the pictures and content on our social media, Instagram, which is connected. So make sure you follow us. So, you know, I'm always trying to post stuff that I have going on throughout the week, because it's a great way for you guys to kind of track what I'm doing in the real world, just so you can see, get an understanding what it entails and what it's like. So I was excited about that. Got to do that this week. And, you know, here I am, you know, again, bringing you guys some new exciting opportunities that I'm happy to bring you guys every Monday. So we're going to kick off into these grind ups. Make sure you got your pen. Make sure you got your pad. You can take down all this crucial information, because it is crucial and it is super beneficial. So I hope by now, you know, like I said, we're at episode 22. I hope by now you guys have, you know, started working on your resumes and just the language presentation, your overall overview of everything. Okay, so jump into one grind up of the day is in the field of recording. Sound designer. Gaming company seeks aspiring sound designer to create all audio for games. This is in Reno, Nevada. Now that sounds fun. You know, I'm a serious gamer. I know a lot of music guys are gamers. I'm not sure. You know, we got anywhere from film to broadcasting, people who are tuning in. So this could be another fun, cool opportunity. It is a job, so that's always a wonderful opportunity. Okay, here we go. Here are the details. Candidate will be responsible for auditioning, directing, and recording voice talent. Candidate will be assisting software engineers implementing sound schemes and ensuring proper synchronization and graphics. Candidate will be responsible for formatting conversions across various gaming platforms. Sound designer will go through a 2-month training period. Now, this is a very detailed grind up. As you notice, assisting software engineers, implementing sound schemes, ensuring proper synchronization to graphics. Responsible for formatting conversions across various gaming platforms. So although it's very detailed, they're also going to train you for 2 months. Okay, again, this is in Reno, Nevada. Now, sounds like a real techie, real tech savvy kind of geek kind of guy. So, you know, for those of you who might be entertaining this in this, you know, particular area, you kind of want to just make sure that you're that kind of person, because as I look through the details, I can tell what kind of individual that requires. Okay, so from the you know, the scope of, you know, structure, very technical, very persistent, and very accurate. That's kind of the dynamics you wanna have for this particular grind out. All right, so again, that's in Reno, Nevada. Moving on to grind out number 2. This is in the field of film, video editor. Now I know we got a lot of film students at the Recording Connection, so I hope you guys are dialed in today. Video editor, media company requires full-time video editor with good storytelling skills. Again, this is full-time. West Bloomfield Township, MI, which I'm assuming is Michigan, okay? There are a couple of details for this. Editor will receive video submissions from clients and be responsible for creating a concise storyline. Candidate will be editing content based on clients' visions and making sure that they are highly satisfied. Projects must reflect the company's brand and standards, audio adjustments, color correction, shoe selection, transitions, cohesive flow, and spelling. Candidate must be able to work with Adobe programs as well as Final Cut Pro. Candidate must provide a sample of his or her work. Now, on this last tale where they're asking you to provide his or her work, we've talked throughout the duration of my shows about sizzle reels, you know, resumes, and this kind of falls into that line, being able to showcase what it is you do. I always say it's better show them than better you can tell them. So this is kind of one of those scenarios where this will be a great opportunity for you to have something like that to present. So, you know, a lot of things you'll be covering: company's brands and standards, audio adjustments, color correction, shot selection, transition, cohesive flow, and spelling. So that's a lot within itself, very detailed. I would say to those video editors who are tuned in, make sure you have all of those skills so you don't get in and underperform. You'll be editing content based on clients' visions. Now, the thing is, you have to also be in a space where you can sit with somebody, talk to somebody, which most likely is the client, hear what they're saying, interpret it creatively, and then put that together and present it visually. So that's a key factor in this particular grind out, is being able to digest somebody's ideas and creativity, bring it to life. Okay, you have to be able to execute that. You have to be able to bring it to life. You also receive video submissions from clients, and you'll be responsible for creating a concise storyline. So you got to know those structures, which I'm assuming you do if you have experience within these fields, which is film. So, you know, it's a lot to think about here, but could also be a great opportunity for you as well as our Recording Connect students. Okay, moving on to grind out number 3. Grind out number 3 is in the field of radio. Assistant engineer. Local radio station is hiring an assistant engineer that will operate, maintain, update, and repair hardware. This is in Sacramento, California. Okay. Now I know a couple of cats that work at, you know, radio station stuff, but I've never really got to meet or hang out with you know, a guy who handles just the board side of things and the broadcasting technicalities. So this could be interesting. Okay. So this is a heavy AV system job. Candidate will be trained based on the station's protocols. Okay. Candidate will interpret and implement instructions and requests from other stations' personnel. Candidate must have at least 6 months of experience with fiber connectivity, production setups, and AV routing and patching. Candidate must be able to meet deadlines, prioritize assignments, and handle multiple tasks simultaneously. Now, these details that we've been getting are very, very precise. So I want to make sure you guys are clear on these things. You know, these aren't just, you know, you can't just have one of these or be good at this particular detail. We're giving you a list of details so you know overall what it is the expectation is there. And if you can meet it, great. If you can't, don't even bother showing up. Like I say, don't ever be in a position where you underperform. Okay, so let's take these one by one. You'll be dealing with heavy AV systems. Okay, now heavy AV systems means they can get really, really difficult as far as understanding the functionality of it. Could be a lot, could be just a lot to take in. So that's something you definitely want to consider. But the great thing is you'll be trained based on the station's protocols. So you won't be learning things that you're not going to be able to apply. You'll be learning exactly what it is the station needs you to do, which is really good because you'll get into some situations and you'll be like, man, what did I was a waste of my time. I could have been learning this instead of focusing on that. So thankfully here, you'll just be dealing with the station's protocols as far as what you'll be learning. Okay, you'll interpret and implement instructions. So you have to, anytime you're implementing anything to anybody, you got to have a form of leadership, a form of organization, and people got to believe that they got to believe you. They got to be confident, and that comes with how you delegate. Okay, and you'll be dealing with stations personnel, so make sure you're a people person. Make sure that you know how to talk to folks. You'll have at least 6 months of experience with fiber connectivity, production setups, and AV routing and patching. Now they're asking you that you at least have 6 months of experience with those different things. Okay, so that's definitely something to think about. I'm assuming if you've engineered, if you got some good experience on you as far as an engineer, that a lot of this is, piece of cake for you. Okay, something to think about. And most importantly, you got to be able to meet deadlines, prioritize assignments, and handle multiple tasks at once. A lot of people, you'd be surprised, a lot of people get in these environments and they fold, they don't deliver because it's just too much. They get overwhelmed. So this tells me that this environment is a very, very punctual, ongoing, off to the next thing, roll with it, maneuver, finagle your way around things, and get it done. That's what that's telling me. So definitely something to think about for all our assistant engineers or engineers that are tuning in with us today. Okay, moving on to grind out number 4. This is in the field of film. Again, videographer, editor. Digital marketing firm seeks videographer, editor to shoot and edit content for political activities. Now, this is in Austin, Texas. Now, my team, a couple folks show like maybe episode 10, 11, hitting us up about job opportunities in Austin, Texas. So I hope that you guys have continued to stay with us because this could be, this could be for you. Okay, so let me cover these details. Candidate will be working with 2 video producers, and many times will be tasked with taking something from a concept to completion. Okay, let me rephrase that. Taking something or a concept and bringing it to completion. Okay, candidate must have experience with Adobe Suite, specifically Premiere and Media Encoder and Photoshop. Candidate will be expected to meet deadlines working with internal teams, design accounts, etc., to accomplish goals of the clients. Candidate must have a willingness to learn and adapt to the changing online landscape in both the go-getter and workshop learner fashion. This is a full-time position. Offering will be dependent on experience, 1 year minimum. Now, the great thing with some of our Recording Connection students is you guys have well over a year of experience. So this can be a great opportunity for you. And we house a lot of videographers and editors. So this can be really good for you guys. Here we go. Candidate must have a willingness to learn. And I'll say in any environment, any working environment, you always want to have a willingness to learn. I'm still learning to this day. That never gets old and it never stops. Okay. And you'll be changing online. You got to be able to adapt and change within the online landscapes of things. We all know that's constantly moving. And you got to be a grinder. They want somebody who's on it, willing to go get it, willing to sacrifice. They want to go get her, as they say, and a workshop learner fashion. So you want to think of what your traits are as far as when it comes to your work and how you are in those environments. You definitely want to be a grinder. You want to be a hard worker for any of these opportunities. That's the only way to really get it done. You'll be expected to meet deadlines, like in most of these grind ops. They want you to be able to meet those deadlines. They want you to be able to over deliver. Okay, so you'll be working with teams. So like, again, that lends itself to, being able to talk to folks, being able to be a people person, all those dynamics. Okay, you'll be you'll be expected to accomplish the goals of the clients. So again, like I said, it's all about how you process a client's vision and a client's idea and be able to take those concepts and bring them to fruition. Okay, that's something you want to be able to do. You got to have experience with Adobe Suite, Premiere, and Media Encoder, and Photoshop. So make sure that whatever you have experience on working in, if those aren't in your top tier list, you got to figure out a way how to get those different software programs into your lists as far as your worktivity and your productivity, your workflow. Okay, because you're definitely going to be dealing with those. And you'll be working with 2 video producers. Now, the great thing I noticed with a lot of the video producers, it's a small world. Everybody knows everybody. So there's definitely great ways to, create other opportunities for yourself in this particular environment, and get work outside of this, even this of what this job's asking. That's the great thing. I think with all our grind ops, there are definitely grind ops that come with the amount of space and room for you to grow within your career. So it's definitely something to think about. Moving on to our last grind op of the day, which is grind op number 5, and this is in the field of film. Studio production assistant. Candidate will be operating studio cameras, floor directing, lighting, graphics, and basic audio boards. This is in Tucson, Arizona. All right. Here are the details for this particular grind op. Communications company seeking a hardworking, talented, energetic person to join the production department. Candidate must be able to work in a team as deadlines have to be met. Candidate must be available to work a variety of different shifts and be able to be on call. Candidate must have at least 1 year experience in a production environment. So this last detail, I know we got that covered. Recording Connection students come well equipped with over a year of experience. You got to be able to be available to work in a variety of different shifts. So, you might catch early hours, you might catch mid-afternoon hours, you might catch nighttime after hours, but you have to be available. When they call you, you got to show up, okay? You must be able to work in a team, and always stress being able to work in a team and work with folks. So that's definitely something to think about as far as, just make sure you have experience in working with others and being able to get things done with others, okay? And that's pretty much for that particular grind op. Again, that was grind op number 5, and that's in Tucson, Arizona. Now moving on to my favorite part, which is my Q&A, where I get to chop it up with you guys and see what's on your mind and see how I can answer some of these questions. Okay, so here we go. First question from Tammy. I'm a songwriter. I hope you can give me some advice to getting my lyrics in front of singers. Well, let me just say this. Presentation wise, you want to be able to present your lyrics with something around them, meaning, people hear songs, they usually hear it with music. Now, if you're just a songwriter and all you can provide is lyrics, what you should do is record yourself singing the song down rather than handing someone just your lyrics. You want to be able to give them something that allows them to hear it and experience it in a way that they see themselves being able to sing it. Okay, that's the best way I can say to go about presenting your lyrics to singers. Okay, sing your songs, record it down, then present it. That's the best way you can do it. Okay. Next question: are you playing Pokemon Go? What's funny? What's funny, man? I've been seeing, like, even in my own city, I'll go to our mall and I see people walking around like zombies, like in packs, like they're not even watching cars as they cross the street. They're in a corner, in a bush. It's amazing to me where technology is driving folks. Man, when I look at that, I can't help but say, man, if I had that kind of time, but at the end of the day, I don't want that kind of time. I try to make use of all the time I have with being, just applying it to things I love. Some folks might love Pokemon that much, but what's crazy is I see grown folks playing Pokemon like it's the thing to do. I went fishing a couple weekends ago. I went night fishing, and I was on the pier fishing, and it was late, and there were folks out there just walking around like zombies playing Pokemon Go. So I don't know. I haven't caught on yet. I haven't really had a chance to really dive into it to see what's so infectious about it. But I hope none of my squad is playing Pokemon. I hope my squad is on the grind and just making it happen. So don't let me catch y'all, Mike, Howie, Brian, playing Pokemon. All right. Next question: what's the best way to get honest feedback on whether you are doing a good job or not? I think the best way to get feedback in a work environment is, you know, you'd want to get feedback from your bosses. You don't want to get feedback from your friends who work in a cubicle next to you, or who are, because they're gonna. It's hard to get that kind of how you say, not that kind of information, but that kind of information that could possibly be objective. All right, it's hard to get that from people you know. Okay, but a boss will tell you immediately, well, you know, I noticed this, and or, you know, I really, man, you're really doing a great job. So, you know, it's really about just asking, being sure, you know, hi, you know, Mr. Whatever, or, you know, such and such, and, you know, I just want to make sure I'm up on everything, and that, you know, if there's anything else you need, do I need to do a couple of things better, you know, or you know, you always want to make sure the expectations are being met by your work. Okay, so really just being straight up. It's just addressing it, and always just having the desire to make sure you're doing a great job. And people take that in as like, wow, you know, man, always, it's always at the forefront of their mind as to how they're doing. Are they doing enough? Is there anything you could check? You know, that's always good to know and see in a person. Okay. Here we go. Next question. Is there ever a time when it's better to beg for forgiveness than to ask for permission? Is there ever a time when it's better to beg for forgiveness? You know, I'm going to say forgiveness. It's always, asking for forgiveness is always a way in any shape or form. And I'll leave that at that. Any advice for starting my own radio show on rap music? That's it's an easy question, but the answer could be, you know, because I don't know what you're really pertaining to. I know it's pertaining to a radio show, but, you know, starting your own radio show, there's a lot of dynamics that go into that. I've been able to work with a couple of folks that have, you know, their podcast. You know, I've been on Sway's Universe, on Shady 45. I've done Power 106. Now, those kind of things, depending on which route you want to go, you know, if you already have, you know, a station that's welcoming you to do your own thing, then that's a whole nother thing. I'm going to take it as that's what you're talking about. So if you have a spot that's wanting to bring you in, you know, to give you your own show, that's great. You know, so I think is, you know, having a show, structuring the show that's exciting enough to get listeners and viewers. And whatever your strategy, whatever your presentation is, I mean, those are things you got to think about, and how you can draw listeners for any radio show. Radio stations want listeners. They want ratings. They want those markets. So I would say if you do that, you know, do something exciting, do something compelling, and do something competitive. You know, whatever the demographic is in that particular area, find out what they feel is missing from radio, and that's a great doorway to infuse music or records that are exciting, and whether you're having really good topics, really good, you know, guests, you know, those relationships would come in handy, because you can pull all these pieces in to kind of create a new experience. And radio, music, showbiz, it's all about the experience. So in radio, if you can present a really good experience, that's what you want to do. Okay. So guys, I guess that is all my questions for today. Man, I look forward to seeing you guys next week. I'm also going to be bringing some info for you guys next week about my travels to Japan and what I was able to do while I was out there with the Zoom North America team and software developers, and kind of just give you an insight of what that role looks like when you get into designing a product such as a drum machine. All right, so I hope you guys have enjoyed Grindouts we brought you today. I hope you are going to take down and track all this information. Again, don't forget to follow us, y'all. All right, and that's at Is Connected on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Shout out to my team. Shout out to my squad, Brian, Howie, Mike, for making this happen and allowing me to do this every Monday for you guys. Again, catch us here. Come view us. Come check us out. Every Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're here. We're here for y'all. All right, my name is Iz. Again, it's my pleasure. Peace.
As I was told.